6 principles of behavior. Only 6, they're powerful, they're well worth thinking about. Number 1 of the 6 is that all behavior is motivated. There's a reason for everything we do. We might not know what that is. We might believe it's one thing. It could very well, in truth, be something else. Equally, other people's behavior is motivated. There's a reason for everything they do. We sometimes say, why did they do that? Well, sometimes we need to find out. We might need to ask. We might need to explore. The more clear we are about what motivates behavior, the better we are able to relate to people well. Number 2, this one is powerful. Behavior breeds behavior. How we behave towards others will influence significantly what we get back, and vice versa. Other people's behavior influences how we behave towards them. People we like will cause us to behave in a different way to people we don't like. People who listen to us are getting more of that back. Sometimes we're unaware of the impact of our behavior on others. The more aware we are of how behavior breeds behavior, the better. We can choose our behavior. Yes, we can. We aren't compelled to be powerlessly confined to how we behave. Typically, we can choose our behavior from a wider range than we've shown, but there's a limit. We can no more behave beyond our range of behavior than we can jump backwards over a house. So to a degree, and very often to a larger degree, and we've seen, we can choose our behavior. Perception is reality. Never mind how we want to come across to people, how they feel about us might not be how we feel they should, or is reasonable, or is right. Sometimes people form an impression of us, which is we feel unfair. Well, their perception is their reality, as ours is of them. Perception is reality. And a failure to recognize that can mean that we just aren't relating to people at a shared level. The only behavior you can change is your own. This is quite a challenge because the way we behave very often implies that we're trying to change someone's behavior. We can use our behavior to influence how others behave, but we can't coerce and compel unless in absolutely extreme situations. So we, by using our behavior, can influence or make a change in others a little more likely. No guarantees. The only behavior you can change is your own. And finally, on the 6th, behavior is situational. How we behave is very contextual. In one situation, with one person or group of people, we'll behave one way. In another situation, we'll see people that we've behaved always within a certain range behave very differently. Why is that? It's for all sorts of reasons. And the reasons are that in that situation, they will behave in a certain way, they will show behaviors, they will demonstrate certain behavioral abilities that they perhaps have been constrained within or haven't been encouraged to show in another. So behavior is situational. There are the 6. Have a think about them. I certainly think a lot about behavior being something which breeds other behavior, and there's no question about that. And I also think a lot about perception being reality and about trying to recognize where someone else is seeing me, themselves, whatever, which is different to my own impression. So there you go. And this is where to find me and various bits and pieces I do, the website, the podcast. That's full of 60 current freebies, which you can download. I'm working on that all the time, and I'll be making them smaller for the big ones they are. And the YouTube channel, which this appears on. So I hope that helps. 6 principles of behavior. I certainly use them very consciously, and I very often use them to good effect. Bye for now.